Blog Talk Radio.
Welcome to Fearless Generations with Terry Zayer and Kelly Fox.
Hello and welcome to Fearless Generations, 12 Steps to Freedom. It is Kelly Fox, and tonight we are talking Step 8, Possibilities, continuing the conversation. And tonight we're going to be talking about detaching from the how. So let's get things going. Let me welcome my beautiful co-host, Terry Zayer. How are you doing tonight, Terry?
I'm doing fine, thank you. Good to hear your voice.
You too. And I am super excited to have our guest coach on tonight. And she has been on the show before, and we are super excited to have her on the show again. Please welcome Stephanie Lueris.
Hello, ladies. It's so good to be back with you.
It is so good to have you. So, Stephanie, why don't you remind the audience, what is it that you get to do and who is it that you get to serve?
Well, I get to have a blast every day, but that doesn't tell you a whole lot. I am a personal trainer, fitness nutrition specialist, author, speaker, basically all the things at the end of the day that help you to feel good in your body inside and out. And the people I serve are people that are done with diet culture. You are finished with diets and trying to fit in a box that wasn't made for you, but you know that you are ready to make some changes to feel your best inside and out.
Yes, and we love what you do. I have worked with Stephanie myself, and so has Terry. So we definitely love Stephanie and all she does. So what do possibilities mean to you, Stephanie?
Well, possibilities are a big deal to me because, like I said, we don't want to fit in a box that wasn't made for us. And especially when it comes to our health and wellness, there are as many possibilities as there are people walking this planet because there's not one right way to do things, but there is a right way to do things for you. And so that really makes it the sky's the limit when it comes to possibilities because you have the opportunity to try so many different things to find what's the right fit for you.
Yeah, I love that. And how do you feel detaching from the how plays into that?
Detaching from the how, it's one of those things where we get so many messages in this world from our family, from our friends, from the media, and it's, you need to do it this way, you need to do it that way, this is how it's done, and, well, it might be how someone else did it, but it's maybe not what's going to help you to succeed and feel successful in the things that you do.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I think that all of our bodies are different, and what would work for me isn't going to necessarily work for someone else. Eating a salad isn't necessarily what my body needs. My body needs more protein. So knowing that, right? Knowing that and taking care of yourself in a way that is going to best care of you and make you healthy is definitely where you want to, the direction you want to go, right? And I love that you help people figure that out and actually super excited that this Saturday, Jenny and I will be live and in person with Miss Stephanie in San Francisco at her workshop that is all about this.
Absolutely. And I'm beyond excited to hug the both of you. But you know, that's the exact thing, is learning those steps that we need to empower ourselves. What does it look like to evaluate what are my needs? How are those needs met? And doing it in a way that is logical, that it fits your lifestyle, that it fits your family, that it fits your schedule, that it fits your budget, that it checks all those boxes that we need for something to really be successful.
Terry, what are you thinking right now? What's going on with you?
Yeah, I really appreciate Stephanie's philosophy and the way that she approaches health and nutrition and body image. I think probably one of the most important things that we can do as human beings, I was going to say as women, but really just as human beings, is to value ourselves just the way we are, that we are enough. We are our individual person with our gifts, with our talents, with our capacity to influence others and to serve our fellow man. And I think that in my lifetime, it was always, and it could have been self-inflicted, it could have been expectations of others, to look a certain way. And I think I bought into that. Probably because I just didn't have that strong love of self, of my own value. I was always, wanting that from other people. And in my life recently, I mean, this last part of my life, I've really learned to eliminate expectations and not take those on from others or myself, and to love myself and to be healthy for myself, and to because I feel better, and that makes me do better when I feel better, and allows me to engage in the passions that I have and the mission that I have in my life, and it allows me to wake up with a positive mindset and to face each day with an outlook of doing the best I can, when I can, the way that I can, and that is awesome. And because of that mindset, that I am the way I am is just exactly the way that I want to be. And it's not dependent on the size of clothes I wear, or the way that I look. It's dependent on the way that I feel about myself, and because I feel good about myself, I feel good about others. Because I feel good about myself, I take in food that helps me to feel better, that helps me to have energy, because having energy is really important to me, because without that, I can't do the things that I want to do for myself and for others. So it's really important to me to have I guess you could call it a mantra, or an affirmation that I have abundant energy. And in order for me to have abundant energy, I've set the goals of getting enough sleep, eating nutritious food, eating less sugar, moving, exercising, walking every day. And because I've set those goals that lead up to this intention that I have to be energetic, it just makes me feel good when I can get. Sometimes I run out of energy around 3 o'clock. I take a little nap and get some more energy. And it makes, when I go to bed at night, I can reflect upon my day and know that I've done what I could when I could, the best I could. And that I've had the energy necessary to do those things that bring me joy. And so that's, I feel like that's what Stephanie, teaches people. That's what she helps us to understand, is that when we have an intention to have energy, to have good, for our body to feel at its optimum, at whatever age we are, whatever, whatever we're capable of, that by doing that, it brings us emotional, spiritual, physical joy, and allows us to move forward through life on our journey with purpose. And so I think that's different for each one of us, based upon our connections spiritually, and emotionally with ourselves and others, and then physically. So it's like the whole person. You're working with the whole person, not just what you look like, but how you feel, how you think, how you act, how you speak. All of that comes into play when you're doing what you can, when you can, the best you can, and that means taking care of your health.
Oh, Terry, you're singing my song, and I love what you're saying, because you have that intention, you have that goal of, I want to feel energetic, but then you've defined it very specifically with the exact things that you do, and they're not huge things, they're not impossible things. I take a nap when I'm tired. I move my body. I eat food that feels good. Those are all very specific and manageable things that the more you do them, the more you feel how you want to feel.
Mm-hmm. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So, Stephanie, when you're working with someone and they're all caught up in the how do you support them to release that and focus on the intention?
Really, I think all of us get caught up in the how, in that process. And, my favorite stand-alone question with that goal or intention is, how do you want to feel? And when we get into our head, when we're trying to make things complicated, that is one of that backup question that's going to refocus and recenter somebody to start to make an immediate decision on what they can do in this moment. Well, how do I want to feel? Well, I don't want to feel like I'm spinning my wheels. Okay, well, what can you do in this moment? I can take a deep breath. And then after that deep breath, then comes the next choice and the next choice. And so it's really just focusing on what is the one thing. What's that one thing right now? What's the thing that you can accomplish? And it doesn't have to be this major thing that's going to give you that feeling like, yeah, okay, I took this action and now I'm moving toward how I feel that I want to feel.
Yeah, I love that. That an intention is so powerful, and an intention that affects more than just, I want to be able to do a specific thing, but something more overarching, something that encompasses multiple aspects of your life, not just your physical, but your mental and your spiritual, your emotional. And I think that that's what you coach towards, that whole person, that whole, situation of how we intentionally live our lives. And so maybe your choice in that moment is to go for a walk, or maybe it's to eat some protein, or maybe it's to take a nap, or maybe it's to do some yoga, or maybe it's to eat some chocolate. So, whatever is going to support us in that moment to live that best life, that's what we choose, and release the expectations and the shoulds and the thoughts of others, and give ourselves permission to seek out our own joy and seek out what works for us and seek out what supports us and have that be our intention.
And I think sometimes it's kind of like I was just thinking sometimes it's like for me it's trial and error as well. And I think that's part of being a human being. If I eat something that doesn't agree with my my system, I don't feel good, and I say, well, I try to think, well, that's something I don't, I'm not going to choose to eat that again. And yet, if it's something that I really like the taste of it, sometimes I'll say, oh, I'm going to try it again, and the same result. So it's like, okay, how many times do you have to have this experience before you can make that decision that this is not something that your system readily digests, or it just isn't it's not supportive for your health and for your well-being. And so sometimes it's trial and error for me, because sometimes I can eat something and it bothers me, and sometimes I can eat it, and it's not that it's a bad thing, it's just a kind of protein that, like sometimes chicken, it's something as simple as chicken. I can eat it and it really, I can digest it. It goes nicely, and then other times it doesn't. And my body tells me right away, and yet I'll be stubborn and I'll say, I'm going to just eat a few more bites, and then I pay the consequences. So it's for sometimes, especially choosing what to eat, becomes a trial and error, a discovery kind of system, but it's listening to my body and really making that commitment and that intention to have energy and to be able to move forward in the way that I want to complete my work. It's still, I'll get caught up in that. And so that's okay. That's a part of my process, and it's just a part of taking care of myself and paying attention to my body and not beating myself up if I eat a certain kind of meat that's been fried, and I know in my brain, fried food is not the best thing for me to eat. Yet, oh my gosh, I really want that. And and so going, just if I slip and do that, okay, more evidence that that's not what's best for me, and then go on, not get stuck there and beat myself up and not move forward. So for me, food is probably the challenge as I move forward in my journey to have energy. It's being aware of and then choosing the food that best supports me, and that's almost a daily trial and error for me. And lately, it's been more so. So I don't know if it's because my system has changed a little bit, the way my body's processing food. So it's been a bit of a trial and error going forward, because things that I used to be able to eat that didn't bother me, now I'm having difficulty with. And I said, I'll try one more time. And it's just like, Terry, wake up here. Your body's changing. Your needs are changing. That's something that it would probably be to your benefit not to choose that anymore, And that's a little bit of a struggle for me.
Yeah. Stephanie, what were you going to say?
Oh, well, first, what Terry was just saying, I love that trial and error, and because it just continues to give us that place to make informed choice. That, okay, this didn't make me feel good, so when I'm faced with this decision again, what am I going to choose next time? And that's the beauty and the freedom of choice, because we can still choose that thing that doesn't make us feel good and have that same reminder again, or we can choose something different. And it's not good, bad, or indifferent. It's simply just the choice that we made.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, excuse me. We are almost out of time, ladies. It has gone by very fast. So, Stephanie, what is one thing that you would want our listeners to walk away with tonight?
The one thing that I think is so important that we all need that reminder of is what we do doesn't have to look like the other guy. That our journey, our choices, our way of doing things is right for us. It doesn't mean it's right for the person next door or down the street or our family or our best friend. And it's okay that we all do things a little bit different. That's what makes the world an incredible place to be.
Absolutely. Stephanie, is there, how can our listeners find you, or is there anything you'd like to share with them?
So I am pretty much on all the different social media platforms, on some iteration of Heart and Soul Fitness and Wellness, or you can go directly to my website, Heart and Soul. You can get on my calendar. You can get the links to all of my social media there. There's the blog. And for those that like what they hear, want to ask questions, get on my calendar. There you have an opportunity to have a free consultation to talk about your wellness needs and what might be a right fit for you. And if I'm not, then I've got a referral network of people that I know, like, and trust that I'm going to put you in the right hands.
Absolutely. Love it. And as I was saying, Terry and I have both worked with Stephanie and are going to her workshop this weekend, so we highly recommend her. And we love her bunches.
And I love you both.
Well, thank you so much for being on the show with us tonight. I know you don't normally stay up this late, and so I feel very honored to have you be with us.
Well, thank you. I would always do it for the people I care about.
Oh, well, thank you. We want to remind you all that the 12 Steps to Freedom were created by Rhonda Britton, the CEO and founder of the Fearless Living Institute. If you would like to know more about Fearless Living, go to fearlessliving.org. You can always find Terry and I at fearlessgenerations.org or on all the social medias as Fearless Generations. And we would love to support you and be there for you and help you be more fearless. And Terry, any last words?
Nope, just be yourself, listen to your body, follow its promptings.
Awesome. I agree. We all do not look alike or gain health or our best life alike. So seek out yours, and if you are looking for help, seek out Stephanie. All right. Well, thank you, everybody, and until next week, be fearless.
Thank you, Stephanie.
Thank you.